Hey everyone, welcome to another video episode of Treasure Reef, and today I'm featuring a slightly different backdrop. Usually I have a reef aquarium behind me which is called Treasure Reef, but today we're going to talk about a different aquarium, my freshwater green forest, as well as I'll talk about its history, its reboot, my lighting and filtration, as well as I'll finish off with a few words about aquatic log, feel free to stick around. Anyways, the tank itself is 4 feet wide. This tank is about 2 years old now. When I started out, it was a slightly different design, and it has gone through quite a few iterations. So again, if you go to Aquatic Log or the link below, you'll see a few photos of the tank when it first was put in another place in my house. It was actually a peninsula tank, which is something that I haven't seen other aquarists necessarily do with freshwater. So if peninsula is a very popular style with saltwater, but freshwater probably because this is a bit narrower design, and plus everything is kind of stacked up against the back wall. You don't see that many peninsulas. I wanted to try it out, and I was actually very happy with the tank. And the reason I kind of moved it was I wanted just a slightly different experience. And with the tank itself, I've played around with a lot of different compositions. So basically I had it where there was empty space in the middle, then it was, you know, this particular piece of wood was sticking out one way, the other outside and from onto the surface, and also played around a lot with the color. So what you see here, and the water is a little bit murky because it's still going through a reboot. I've actually kept the soil because a lot of stores are closed right now, and I didn't want to buy any new soil online. So I've actually taken all of the plants out and cut them and replanted them. It actually took me about 3 days straight of lugging buckets around and just doing a whole bunch of extra work to get this thing done. And I think it's been just about a month since the full reboot, and you can already see how well the plants are doing. I've also changed it so that the focal point, the red, bright red color of the Rotala plant is now in the middle, whereas before it was in the corner. So overall, I'm really pleased with it. I'm still waiting for the carpet to grow in, which is probably going to take at least another month or two. It's a high-tech planted aquarium with a CO2 system and the filter. It's an Eheim Professional 4 filter, CO2, and overall I'm happy with it. I especially like the lighting. So the lighting is Ecotech Radiance G4 freshwater, and I really, ever since I've seen this lighting used at the Ecotech office, as well as at one of the freshwater Sanjay Joshi's aquariums, I was just enamored with the look of freshwater. I know many of us have a history of starting out with freshwater. I know I do. And, you know, for a while, you know, it's all about reef and salt water, but you do want to come back to the green. And I find that while it's not as interesting maybe to look at up close, from the distance, it certainly is quite a masterpiece, and I really enjoy looking at this living painting. So the tank is doing quite well. It's rebounding. Just a few more things about the lighting. I like that I have access from the top onto the tank, so I can reach easily. I can observe everything from the top. I've had a few tanks, freshwater tanks before, where the T5 lighting was covering all of the surface, and if you need to work on it or cut it, you had to actually lift the lighting. Here I can access it anywhere and just kind of get in, cut something, snip something, and then get out. And one thing that I must say, this tank is somewhat can be a lot of maintenance, just because the plants, if everything is doing well, the plants are just growing like gangbusters. So sometimes I have to cut it at least once a month and throw out buckets of plants, or maybe take it to a local hobbyist or the store. Overall, I really like the lighting because it's got scheduling. So in the evening the light does ramp down, and I shift the lighting into more warm colors, so lots more red, and at night I fool around with some moonlighting, and I do like to see the tank when it's just pale blue moonlight. So I like that part. In terms of plants, mostly this is high-tech plants, so fast growers. I'm quite happy with the reds on Rotala. I've noticed that once I've increased the lighting, that helped. I did make a huge mistake before of switching from reef to freshwater. I thought that just going with 1/3 of the light from my saltwater is going to be okay for the fresh, but it wasn't the case. My water, just my plants couldn't handle it. So you have to acclimate it, otherwise you're going to end up with a green soup, which I used to have before. I've also taken the UV sterilizer off the tank, just wanted to simplify it. And in terms of the actual fish, I think they're all a little bit scared right now because I just did a water change. But I really like the cardinals. So those are my favorite fish. I have a huge sympathy for it, and I like the schooling effect of it, like when there's a shoal of fish going one way or the other. And right now I think they're a little bit freaked out by me being so close, but most of the time it's actually very peaceful to see them go front and back. Maybe once the tank grows in, I'll shoot another video where I'll actually show it in its glory. So just wanted to give a quick update on this, and when it comes to aquatic log, I wanted to say that in November of 2019 I've made it free, so anybody can use it, and there is a native app for Android and iPhone, and when I have some time on the weekend I do work on it, just to because I enjoy programming, and it gives me a chance to try out some new technologies and new paradigms, so it's always a good thing. But to some of you that have donated in the month of April, I want to say a big thank you. It means a lot. You know, when you are buying me coffee, it basically does motivate me to spend some time, you know, in the evening, maybe with a glass of wine to do a little bit of programming. And today I want to say thank you for everybody who donated in month of April. These are users J0359M, J Rosenblum, DJ Speedbump, NZ Tech, TF Ford, and G Gnostic. So really huge shout out, huge thank you. It means a lot. This money does go back into this hobby. I would buy maybe one more cool fish or a plant, so or it helps pay for the hosting of Aquatic Log, which lately has been just going gangbusters in terms of the number of users. So at some point I may need to even upgrade the hosting. So thank you, and I already had a few more donations in month of May, so come June I'll do an extra video of that and do another shout out. So maybe that's going to be a new model for the while. So anyways, thank you. One last thing, as I've mentioned in my previous video, I'm now doing yoga online. I'm teaching yoga. I'm a registered teacher. And some of you have inquired. I do encourage more of you to reach out if you want a session. Basically, there's a group session. It's very easy to get into. Don't get intimidated by yoga or you know, headstands or none of that stuff. This is completely different modality. It's really more about balance, mobility, how well you feel during the day. So if you are interested in yoga and you ever wanted to approach it, make sure to shoot me an email or write to me, and perhaps I can help you advance yourself and feel a little bit better. So anyways, that's a quick update. Thank you for watching. I hope you are staying safe in these times, that you're healthy. And with that said, take care and happy aquarium keeping. Bye.